Hey guys, Roberto Ramon, Idea Plus. So I just wanted to get a quick chance to show you. I'm here in the studio downtown Atlanta. Just wanted to show you my quick podcast setup. I have two light stands, 47-inch soft boxes. For my cameras, I like to use T7Is. I use these same cameras for mostly for podcasts because I also do a lot of live streaming, and so there's no need to use cinema cameras for live streaming. I have access to Canon C70s if I'm doing like corporate work or something like that, like just interviewing. If the client wants 1080, sometimes I still will use these cameras. But if they're wanting it to look a certain way, then I'll use like a C70. I'm also in the process of getting a few Blackmagic 6K Pros. So this is the setup. I also use a monitor, well, TV, with my setup. And I plug that into my laptop. And so I allow, when we're doing podcasts, we have topics on the screen. Or if I do a hybrid type of, if we do like a hybrid like live stream or panel discussion where some people are virtual, then I will sometimes have those people where they can see those people here on the TV monitor, and of course people at home, so I can switch it, back and forth. For switching, I use the ATEM ISO ATEM Mini Extreme. As you see, I have all three of my cameras plugged in right here. So this is one, camera 2, which is a wide angle lens, camera 3. You can get this clean. So what you do is, when you go into the menu here with the T7i, you can get it clean, and it's really easy. So when you're in the menu, all you have to do to get this clean is once you have everything set up, right now I'm at 1600 ISO, I'm at 60 frames per second. Shutter speed is 1/60, and then my white balance is set for 5200, and then I might change that a little bit in post, but it just looks more natural to me because of my lights. And then in my frames per second, I'm at 30 frames per second. So the way you get this clean is you just hit your info button a couple times, and then it's completely clean on the screen, on the monitor. This is what it sends, but one thing you have to do is, if you have an autofocus lens, you turn off the autofocus, and that'll send a clean signal to the screen, to your ATEM. So if you leave autofocus on, even though it's a clean signal, as soon as something gets here, it's trying to track, and then that box will show up. You turn off autofocus, then nothing shows up. So that's the secret to that. So, before clients come in, I just leave my autofocus on, and I like to track them once they get in and they sit down. I get it focused on their face, turn autofocus off, and then, we're good to go. I use grips with all three of my cameras. And I just put one battery in each because, most of the time these people aren't recording no longer than about an hour. And I'll show you the battery here shortly that I use. Let me clean these off. Info. Let me just get both of these clean for off the screen. Turn off autofocus so we can see a clean on the screen. Okay, let me plug this back in here. When I'm in the studio, I use Mini to HDMI, and then I use that in the studio. And then when I am on location, like if I'm doing what happened? Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta turn off autofocus. Okay. All right, so now that's clean. So now that you see with the autofocus off, this is the program feed here to the right, and they're all clean. Once you turn off the autofocus, it stays clean. The batteries that I use these Artman batteries here for T7i. What is this? The LPE17. These batteries last way longer than traditional Canon batteries. I mean, you can see right here it says 1300 milliamps, and I think a traditional Canon battery only has maybe like 800 or 900 milliamps. I might be wrong, but one of these batteries lasts a really, really long time. So for my audio, I use a Zoom recorder. It's kind of overkill, but sometimes if I'm using more than two mics, like if I just got one or two, I can plug directly into the ATEM. But if I'm using more than two, which is what I'm doing today, because for this particular podcast, I'm like a B mic or C mic, they're gonna have a guest today. That's why we have the extra seat set up. So I'm C mic today, but I'm just like a behind the scenes voice. Sometimes I'll just interject, from behind the camera. For my wireless lavs, I use Hollyland. These guys are pretty good. One receiver, two transmitters. Oh, if I can get it out, freaking box. Okay. Two transmitters, one receiver, and I have two sets of those. Gonna buy a third. Like I say, I plug in Mini to regular HDMI when I'm here in the studio. When I am doing conferences for clients, I have wireless HDMI that I use. It's not the Hollyland wireless. It's another company. I can't remember the name of it. Some off-brand that I found, but I mean they work really good. So, I use that. Trying to see what else. So yeah, I plug those in, plug the receiver in. I have a 3.5 to XLR adapter. So I just plug that right into the front here. If you're using these, regardless of what type of lavs you have, make sure you get the one that is set up for phantom power. And so I made that mistake first time I bought these a couple of years ago. I bought the ones that do not work with phantom power. So make sure you get the ones that work, that have phantom power built in. Interestingly enough, though, when I bought the Hollyland wireless system, it actually works with or without phantom power turned on. So you can turn it on here. It works with or without it. So, but still get these. Still get these just in case, because it's just easier to use, on location. There are times if I have, the only other thing I do on location, I have my TV / monitor, production monitor sitting in a chair. I know that's ghetto. I have a TV stand that I'm ordering for this. This is a 24-inch television that I bought from Walmart. It's like $80, really cheap. So I have a stand that I'm ordering for that. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I also have uplights. So I use these GVM LEDs. I'm sure everybody has seen these. Everybody's seen these on Amazon. I think they're like 80, 90 bucks for a pair, maybe 100 and something, I can't remember. But I add a link to that. For my NPF batteries, I like to use these guys here because they have, you can see power levels. And so I love that. So I'll put these one behind the chair, one on each side of the plant on the floor to shine up on the wall to just add a little bit more depth. I'm trying to think what else. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, the only other thing I add, I add my laptop in to pull things up on the screen for a client so that they can see, if we're talking about something from sports. This is a sports podcast, so I'll pull up videos or things like that so they can see it. So I'll hook my laptop up directly here. If I am doing a live stream, then my laptop actually has to be hooked up to the ATEM, and then I do. I run my live feed in through the ATEM as an additional input here on the screen. And so in order for my in-studio guests to see what's going on, then I do an output. Instead of the output going from the laptop, coming in from the laptop, I do an output from here because there's 2 HDMI outs on this. So I do my second HDMI out to the monitor or the TV. And that's the same thing I do if it's a hybrid panel discussion or a hybrid podcast, then I do the same thing so they can see, on the screen, and the people at home can see whatever I'm looking at on my laptop. If I'm pulling up videos or if there's a presentation, sometimes I do, a client has a presentation, and so I'll do that. Other than that, when I'm in a conference, and hopefully I'll have I think I have a couple panel discussions that'll be coming up here in about a month or so. And so you'll get a chance to see that setup. And so that setup I will include my wireless HDMI. There is a bit of lag, and so that's real easy to edit in the system. You just hook this up to your computer through Ethernet port. There's an Ethernet port in the back, and you just hook that up to the computer, and then you can tweak some changes to speed up or slow down your audio feed, or to speed up or slow down your video feed, and so that gets the video and audio in sync if I'm using wireless HDMI. Trying to think if there's anything else. This is the cart that I use here in the studio. It's a foldable cart. Everybody has this cart. I actually got mine on sale on Amazon for I think it was like $50. And the reason I got it, I think somebody returned it because this piece right here is broke. But I mean, that doesn't stop me, from how I use it. So $50 is great. That's a great price. Let me see if I can show you the type of lights that I use, my light system. It may wash out. I know it's gonna be kind of bright. Let's see if we can peek in here. If you can see that, so that's a corn light. If you can see that a little bit. That has like 50, I forgot how many thousand lumens it has, but I have 2 of those. So they're not able to be, you can't change the intensity or anything like that, but they're fine for a studio. Sometimes I do use I have some Amaran lights that I use if I want to be in a situation where I'm trying to dial up or dial down the light. But that's pretty much it. That's just backdrop paper. Sometimes if somebody wants to shoot a single, just shoot with a single camera, 1 or 2 angles, then we got a gray backdrop or a white backdrop. And we can also, do photography. I need to add a third color up there. I just can't figure out what color. I think I'm gonna get tan. I'm not sure. Sometimes we use this white wall here on the side if it's like a waist up shot or video. So when I'm moving stuff around, I'm going on location, I use these big Godox bags. And the bottom two are like 44 inches, and this one is 38, 39, something like that. It's not too much smaller. I think these bags on Amazon are like $200 each, but you can get them, you can catch them on sale a lot. And I caught both of these on sale for $100 each. So that was a steal. Trying to think what. Sometimes I use this little foldable cart here, like a fake rock and roller. But I use this from time to time if I'm moving things around, like these chairs are somewhere else in our studio space. But so if I'm moving chairs around or if I'm on location, gotta carry. I don't really deal with Pelican cases. I think I'm getting to that point slowly. But sometimes I'll use that. Let me see. I know it's overkill to have handles on my cameras when I set them up, but it's easy. So when I'm breaking everything down, just grab the handle, move it around. But if I'm on location somewhere, I like to use, I have additional monitors that I add at the top. So I just like to get used to, putting the handles on. Let's see. Last thing, this is a custom case that I built, and I have a photo. It's empty now, but the Hollyland cases go in here. Power cord for the ATEM. All 3 cameras go in here with the grips attached, and then the other 2 kit lenses, which I think, whatever the kit lens sizes that come with cameras, I think is 35 to 75 or something like that. They go there. These shotgun mics I use sometimes I'll do panel discussions at an event, and there'll be like 6, 7, 8 people. And sometimes the people will interchange, and a lot of times it's kind of hard to mic everybody with a wireless lav. So I like these mics because I used to use Rode like everybody else, Rode shotgun mics. And actually Rodes create a hiss for some weird reason in the ATEM. When you hook those mics up and plug them into the ATEM, they make a hiss. I don't know why. It's really weird. And whether I hook them directly into the ATEM or even through the Zoom recorder, they still hiss. And when I first started using the Rode mics, I didn't understand it. And you can just do denoise in Premiere Pro to take it out. But I was home one day preparing for an event I had the next day. And I was just testing some different scenarios, and the Comica mic was the closest thing to me, and I plugged it in, and it was complete silence. And I thought it wasn't working until I was like, what the hell? And then I heard myself. I'm like, oh shit, these are completely quiet. So I bought 4 of them. And they're a lot less, Rodes are like $100. These are only 50. And they have phantom power switches on the back. You can turn it on and off. I guess you can use it with a phone too, I'm not sure, but yeah, so that was cool. I have another video about an event that I did where I made this ridiculous monstrosity of a rig. And funny story, got to the event, and the event was not at an event hall. The event was in a house, and I was doing photography and video. So the event, I'm gonna turn these off to save this battery life. The event was at a house, so that was really weird. So I'm gonna talk about that and show some footage from that in another video. But I think that's it. This is a pretty straightforward setup. ATEM monitor, 3 cameras set up, 2 lights, wireless audio, Hollyland Lark, Hollyland wireless lavs, charging some more NPF batteries here, and yeah, that's it. I mean, the lavs that come with them are pretty. I don't know what brand this is. It's what comes with them. And they sound fine. I haven't really tested anything different to see if it sounds better or not. But yep, that's it. Let's see. I'm gonna set these up for the talent. They're actually running behind a little bit right now, so I decided to throw a video together. But yeah, you guys have any questions about anything, just let me know.